over on TV in 2002, we were watching Firefly.
Yeah.
I guess just that 1 year we were watching Firefly.
No.
It was just that 1 year. What a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, that's still a show I go back to. Like, if I start dating someone and they haven't seen that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy this, and we can watch this in like one weekend.
This is the test.
This is the litmus test.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's space, it's cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
Yeah,
but it's not space cowboys.
It's not space cowboys. No. Jeez.
No,
The characters and the casting, are so iconic. And,
Yeah.
There's so many episodes that people remember and so many amazing guest spots.
Well, it's easy that there's so many episodes because there's like 9 of them.
There's 9 episodes, all of which I remember. Just the banter between that, like Joss Whedon coming off the success of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he's just continuing to develop that sort of that voice that ended up going, that's what made the Avengers, is that sort of voice and that playful banter, but that also appreciation of really rad female characters and really interesting tortured villains.
Yeah, and I mean, I think what we should obviously mention about the show is that it had a very hard time getting aired at Fox.
Well, Fox goofed hard.
Yeah, goofed is an interesting word, but it's that they wanted it to start on a more action-oriented, so they aired the second episode first, which was a train heist.
Well, to be fair, the pilot is an hour long, and if you're not into it to begin with, you're kind of like, this is pretty boring.
But still, and then they did it out of order, which is that's the first sign of like, really, are you doing this? And then because I think if you really watch the first episode, you would. I think it would have grown by word of mouth because people are into it, and then we see something in the next episode. It's a show that really builds on itself and introduces you like very slowly, which is a good thing for TV. But on binge watching, it's great.
Well, that's the thing though, is like I honestly can't think of anybody who I know personally who actually watched Firefly when it was on TV.
Yeah, I watched it on video.
For the first time, everyone's first viewing that I know, it was always a friend showing it to them on DVD, or somebody who had a copy of it like illicitly on their computer. Like they were like, you gotta check this out.
Yeah, it was a lot like Arrested Development, also of that era of it shows that everyone adores now, but if every one of us adored it back then it probably wouldn't have got canceled. It's one of those things that just has grown and got this momentum around it. Like the cult following around Firefly and Serenity is insane. I mean, we just had a story from New York Comic Con that a bunch of like Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk are in Con Men, which is a new series coming out.
It's Tudyk's web series, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's just Con Man. But
Con Man?
Yeah.
But so the sequel is going to be about 2 Con Men.
Yep.
Okay. We haven't seen the first season yet, but sure, why not? Let's plan for 2.
But yeah, it's crazy that having a handful of old Firefly actors on stage together gets people insane.
Yeah.
12 years after the show ended and after Serenity came out, like people are still obsessed with this.
Yeah.
And the cast said they would be open to possibly doing a season 2, which is crazy to think.
Yeah.
But at the same
after all
time,
these years, some of them are dead, but
Like, just retcon Serenity.
What if the reason that it that we all remember it so fondly is because it didn't have a chance to get bad?
Yes, that's one of the key things, and Joss Whedon even says that himself. Like,
I mean,
let it just be this small thing we had and we all enjoy.
Exactly.
And it was never went bad. There's no Lost season 6 or anything like that.
Right.
Season 6 was okay.
I already declared Lost the greatest art of all time.
Just art in general.
But
you did mention Serenity, and that's one of those things that never happens. Like, oh my god, I love this show so much. It's so good, great characters. We never got an ending or found out really what the Ravagers were about, and we got a movie by Joss Whedon, his first movie he ever directed, to finish out the story, and he did. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's how I actually got introduced to it. Is that I saw Serenity first. Weird. And then I found out there was a series.
Well, it's funny because I remember I hadn't watched the series before Serenity came out either, and I remember seeing a trailer for it. I was like, oh, what the hell is this piece of crap? And I didn't watch it until like 2 years after I'd actually seen the series. Yeah, I didn't watch Serenity until probably 2008, maybe 9.
Yeah, I didn't cry at the Leaf in the Wind part when I first watched it, but then I went back to watch the series and rewatched it.
Oh,
and I was like, no! Don't take him away. I also have
that
to
movie has
mention
so many
that
feels.
I don't think they aired even every episode they had filmed, but now if you go watch it on DVD, you can see all of them.
Yeah.
And I think the last episode is when I think it's kind of like a bounty hunter.
Yeah, he shows up and he gets floated off into space.
But I loved that ending on that episode because he systematically took out each crew member one by one, and we kind of got to learn because he knew things about them. So each character got their own sort of like send-off in a way of like we were reminded of what we liked about them, teased about maybe things we didn't know, and then the show wrapped up. So I thought even even though it ended on an ill note, I thought
its finale was poignant.
It was great.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch it this weekend.
I'm
now.
getting
I'm getting all feelsy. I'm like all nostalgic. I'm like, oh, I want to go hang out with Hoburn Washman. Or what's his name? Hoburn Wash. Just Wash. Well, I thought he had a first name too.
Washman.
Washman.
Con
Hoburn
man.
Wash Tub.
Who washes the Washman?